Welcome to the Bob and Tam Show, Ba-ding Nation. Hope you're all doing well and hanging out. What are we going to talk about today? It's all about a domicile. If you've got an RV and you're thinking about traveling and you're not sure what you're going to use for a permanent address, we're going to talk about that today. The good, the bad, not so much of the ugly though. So let's get to it.
So don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell, and think about Patreon.
You know, some of the things you got to think about if you want to get a domicile. A domicile is something that you need to have. If you're, for instance, a full-timer, you don't have an address anywhere, you know, you might want to get a domicile. Or, for instance, the state we live in, if you're there less than 6 months, you can consider that a winter home. And that's kind of what we're doing. But here's what we found out. You know, we've tried a couple different avenues here to try to get a domicile. A domicile is you kind of pick a state. There's a handful of states out here, Florida, Texas, Tennessee, I think South Dakota, might be a couple other ones there, but those are the main states that we kind of looked into when we started thinking about getting one.
Yep. And a few reasons we didn't in some of those other states. Sometimes they either have state taxes or you have to go there every year at a certain time to get your vehicles inspected. And there's just a whole list of things we went through. So we picked South Dakota.
One of the reasons we picked South Dakota was there is no state income tax there, which a lot of the other states have too. Texas, Tennessee, a lot of those ones, Florida don't have that. One of the other things you need to think about is how much sales tax am I going to have to spend when I buy something new? Hey, if I want to get a new RV, a new truck, a new motorcycle, whatever it might be. Well, in South Dakota, 4%. That's a great deal. I don't know if anybody's got anything less than 4% out there. Some of the things you need to think about with South Dakota is there's no state inspection. You know, that's a big savings. You know, some of these states require you to go back every year, get your vehicle inspected, gotta wait in line, gotta do, you know, what a pain in the butt that is. So that's one of the things. What else is good about South Dakota is insurance. Your insurance, because it's a rural state and they have less than 1 million people there and it's mostly country and stuff side, you know, farmers, things like that, you save on your insurance, which we have. We've saved considerably amount on our car, RV, and on our motorcycle insurance. What else have we saved on?
License plates. License plates are almost a fraction of the cost as what they are in Arizona.
And I know Florida is really expensive. Not quite sure what Texas is charging, but I know in this case, it's a great deal to save there. So those are some of the key reasons why we picked South Dakota. And what we did, we found the best place ever to get it. You know, most of these places, what they want to do is give you a mailbox. You know, there's all kinds of problems we've heard with people with mailboxes. Even other YouTubers have said, you know, a lot of credit card companies don't want to put an address on a mailbox because, hey, how are they going to find you if you don't pay your bill?
And they definitely want to find you.
So that's another great thing. You know, some of the other things we found out in South Dakota, you know, a lot of people want to have a concealed permit. You know, for firearms, things like that.
I want to buy a gun.
Yep. And in some states, because you've got the P.O. box, you don't have a real address to say you were there.
You're not a legal resident of that state.
So, you know, you might be able to get a driver's license and all that, but you may not have enough rights to do anything else. So with what we're going to be telling you about today, we're actually going to have the owner of the Buffalo Chip. He has set it up to where you actually get a lot address. Actually a lot that you can come out year round except for the 2 weeks of the rally, but you can come out for that, but he charges for that. And there's a good reason for that, and we'll talk a little bit at the end about that. But right here, we're going to go over and shift over to Rod. He's the owner of the Buffalo Chip, and he's going to explain to you
what he's offering.
So let's go.
Rod Woodruff here. Here I have the Sturgis Buffalo Chip Campground, which is a pretty large campground. You've probably heard of the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, and that's really what we do. We have a 10-day music and motorcycle festival here, broadly known as the Sturgis Rally. This message is for RV people, particularly people who live in RVs, don't have really a permanent residence. Why this came up to me, I'll just give you a quick little story. I was on a motorcycle ride down to Cabo, San Lucas, and I looked around out there and all these RVs with South Dakota license plates, and I thought, what the heck? Asked some people about it, and they said, well, sure, we register claim South Dakota as our residency because, number one, there's no income tax. The sales tax is really low. If we buy a new RV, the tax there for a new vehicle is 4%. License plates are a fraction of what they are someplace else. The insurance is better. There's no personal property tax. They don't have a bunch of stuff like that, to deal with the government vote up here, and so they feel like they're part of South Dakota for sure. Been one day a year in South Dakota, have to have the intention it's their permanent residence. Now, the residence for South Dakota, it says you actually have to live here, and so on, and a lot of these people were just using mailbox addresses. And so then we had some people ask us, hey, could we rent a lot at your campground, year round, and use that for the residency? Well, sure, for a small fee, we'll do that. And then I guess that adds to your rights a little bit, because there's some things with the IRS, some things with the BATF, if you want to buy a firearm or something like that, you have to have a physical residence. And so we can give you a physical residence here is exactly what we'll do. We'll rent you a lot for one annual fee, and you can come and go as you please. That said, it'd be nice if you let us know when you're going to be here, because when your driver's license comes up for renewal, we've actually had the Department of Transportation call and say, can you verify that these people are actually there? And of course, if we couldn't do that, then you don't get to have your residency, don't get your license renewed. But if we can establish the dates that you were here, and all you have to be here apparently is one day a year, and you're in. And so that's really what the whole deal is. We have a lot of RV people here thousands of RV people come here for the motorcycle rally. No reason for you not to maybe have a residency here as well. And so if you'd like to do that, send us an email to residents, residents, at buffalochip.com, and just tell us who you are, what you want to do, and a phone number we can get back to you at, and we'll work that out with you. Okay, so we look forward to seeing a whole bunch of you, okay, because we had something like 1,300 acres here that we can put you in lots, and it's right here on the edge of the beautiful Black Hills. It's one of the nicest little spots on the planet. You'll love it here. We'll catch you later. Again, Rod Woodruff, Buffalo Chip Campground. Come join us, be a resident.
Rod had a lot of really good stuff there. Hopefully he did all the key things. Also down there, that is that link that you guys can get information on that. And I wanted to come back and explain, 50 weeks of the year, you can stay out there on his property at no charge. Where else can you do that at? America Mailbox, right down the road here, they actually charge you $25 to park in their parking lot overnight. $50-something to stay in an RV spot. So hey, this is a good deal. We actually stayed this year 3 weeks for free. We even had the electric and the water, and they had sewer dumped there. So hey, it worked out real good.
Right.
We did it all the way up until the rally. So what we're going to explain a little bit about that. What the difference is anything that you rent in the Sturgis area, apartments, condos, houses, anything like that, when the rally comes, they boot you out for 2 weeks. We're not going to get into that, but it's because they make so much money during that time that they can justify it. And they end up not giving the people that actually rent the houses and the apartments and things any real compensation other than a couple weeks off of the rent, which is kind of a whole nother thing, which we won't talk about today. But that's the deception that Rod has with his. So 50 weeks of the year, you can stay on his property for free. Where are you going to get a deal like that? So make South Dakota your domicile. It's the best place to be, the best taxes, and you got the beautiful Black Hills to check out when you want to come up once a year, do some vacation up there, and you can save a lot of money just on your RV expenses there.
That's right, and your taxes, and your only 1 day a year you have to stay up there, so that's another plus. So we've done a lot of research for you, so now you don't have to do as much research. You can just figure out if this is something you might want to do.
Remember, when you call, tell them that Bob and Tam's Excellent Adventure, he actually is going to give us a little kickback there for anybody that we send that actually sees our video. I know a lot of you have been waiting on this one to come out. So check it all out. Tell them Bob and Tam sent you, and we'll leave you right here at the best domicile in America.
So thanks for coming along today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Got a lot of good information out of it. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Think about Patreon. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
See you in a couple days.